Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be showing y'all tips and tricks on how to get better at Call of Duty. For a lot of these are for controller, others are for controller and keyboard and mouse. These tricks have taken me years to learn. Some of them I've learned recently, others I've been doing for years. They will help you, I guarantee it. Just remember, all of these aim assist exploits aren't always best in every scenario. You have to learn which one works best for you at what time and when to aim normally. But if these help you, please let me know in the comment section. And if you're on keyboard and mouse, I'll leave a marker up here on the timestamp on where you need to go to get to the non-controller part of the video. And if you look at my stats, I am a high KD, high PR player for Warzone. These tricks have helped me come as far as I have at improving in COD. And if they help you, let me know in the comment section. And let's get on to the video. So we're going to start this video off with explaining to y'all the three types of aim assist. Aim slowdown, which is whenever I'm flicking, it slows down on the opponent, right? Or rotational, which is whenever I strafe across him, my aim kind of sticks to him. Let me get more open here. You see how it sticks to him and rotates my screen? That is rotational. The last is aim acceleration, which most people don't know about, but it's probably the strongest, which is what all the counter stick and barely touching your stick input stuff will be relying upon. That and rotational, which is aim acceleration. Run through my aim, Joshua. Come this way. I'm barely moving my aim. Or come through my aim all the way. I'm barely moving it. Let me do it again. Come through my aim. You see how I'm going through? He's going through my aim. Every time he runs through my aim. Alright, let me get on this heady. Go from right here to right here. From like over there to the corner beside me. If I'm aiming my aim left and he runs through it, it's going to speed up, right? I'm barely touching my stick. Let's do it again here. And it starts to follow him a little bit. That's aim acceleration. Aim acceleration, very good. Now, aim acceleration with the rotational, it's pretty strong. You see that? I was tracking him basically. If you mix those two, that is one of the strongest forms. And then there's like rotational with slowdown, which is stand still for a second. Rotational with slowdown, look, is when you're flicking, but you're strafing too, right? Like a normal flick, it would go over, but if I'm strafing too, it just stays on them, right? So remember, combine your types of aim assist. Rotational is the most consistent, and out of aim acceleration and aim slowdown. Aim slowdown is more noticeable, aim acceleration is more powerful. Next is a mechanic I've already went over on another YouTube video, but I think it will help a lot of people. The more that see it, the better. This is what you call shake aim. You abuse the strafe and aim slowdown and acceleration simultaneously. It's one of the few ways to do that. So you just shake your aim in any small pattern. It can be like lines back and forth, ovals, circles, diagonal lines back and forth like that. It can be anything. All you have to do is do that and strafe. What that does is, come out here in the open right here. What that does is it just basically locks you on. See, if I'm doing any pattern, stand still, you can spin if you want. I'm moving my stick like any direction, left to right, right to left, circles, anything. It's going to stay on them. But that's not best for tracking because using those other aim types I've already went over in this video are more effective. Where this is good for is someone's coming around a corner. So Josh, come over here and run around the corner at mid, coming out. So if I'm on a head glitch, I can shake back and forth, and then I get my aim on them initially, and then track normal. See? Now doing that, I get the tracking on them. Yep, you get the memo. So that's good for getting your aim on someone at corners. The shake aim, let me show it some more. One last time. That time he jumped over it, so it is weaker against jump shots than it is normal. That is something you have to take into account for. It works against drop shots. Drop shot at the corner this next time. It follows them to the ground. Because their aim assist bubble shrinks with them, it stays on the ground. It pulls them to you. It's pretty broken. So if y'all use the shake aim and like it, just remember, it is a defensive aim mechanic. It is not best used for aggression. Showing y'all in this tips video is the chest lock mechanic. How you do it. The first step is you can mirror their movement, do the same thing as them, or the inverse. I prefer inverse. And what you do when you do that is you do the opposite on your right stick is what you're doing on your left stick. So when you're strafing left, you move your aim right, and vice versa. So like when he's moving, I'm mirroring the inverse of his movement and getting this chest lock mechanic, basically. It's a hip fire mechanic. It's really good at getting set up around corners. And it's really easy. It's just left, right, left, right. You can even do it ADS, but it's not as strong ADS. Hipfire aim assist is way stronger than ADS. Now get to the spot on the corner. You can also do what I call scan running, which takes that same concept of moving your stick's opposite direction while strafing with diagonal running and moving your stick the opposite direction. Because when you do that around a corner, you see how it launched me around him. Versus if I just run straight, you saw it slow down for a second on him, but not really. Like, now if I do that again with the diagonal run, moving the stick the opposite way, it like slings me off of him, literally. So, to sum that up, basically you just mirror movement on both sticks and do the inverse of their movement where you can do the same. It's up to you, whichever one feels more comfortable. And if you diagonal run while counter touching your stick, to use that same principle while sprinting around, like constantly you can go like this, and like however far you're scanning, you're gonna like get slowdown and rotation kicking in to stop you on that person's chest. That's why like the more you do it, like say you're doing 15 degrees, anyone in that 15 degrees that goes across your aim, you're gonna get a chest lock on, at least for a second. Sometimes at further ranges it's just like initial grab, and that's when you aim and start strafing to lock on to them, you know. So next up is using rotational aim assist on head glitches or walls. On this, I'm gonna aim, right? Right hand is not on the controller. That's aim assist kicking in, just strafing diagonally into this, right? I'm not even looking at my screen. Now look, let me get my aim better on him. I'm not even touching my right stick. I'm just strafing into this thing. So how you do this is you get your aim. See how this is facing away from me? The left side is further away, so I'll strafe into it right. And I'm not moving my aim. But now that I'm back in it, it's going to give me rotational. Let me lower my aim. It's above his head. But it literally gets you back and forth. Rotational aim assist. It tracks without you moving. Same thing applies over here if I'm strafing into a wall. Come around towards me. See, I'm not touching the stick. And it literally is doing some of the tracking for me. Right, now I'll do it again. Now this time I'm going to do hipfire aim assist. It works on ADS and hipfire. I only have one hand on the controller. And the last thing is baiting head glitches. So this is where you do that move I was showing you earlier in the video, the G spam behind a heady. You get that to get information on people. That's one of my favorite times to use it. Will you go back there and do the G spam behind that heady? Where you like spam in place the sprint out thing. Or no, like the faster version where you like doing this rapidly. You don't even aim for that one.
This is all you see when you do it on here. I wasn't even seeing you.
Yeah, he's doing it a little slower because he doesn't play on auto attack sprint, so he doesn't do this mechanic often. But it is literally like he's there for like 2 or 3 frames. It's just like a quick little head peek. But you just spam like this. The faster the better. So you just sprint out of it, drop shot, and that's how you abuse the head glitches. That is what some people call snaking. I call it ghost peeking, because normal snaking is just crouching up and down like this. But doing this, I call it a ghost peek because it's quicker than a normal snake. So next up is the Dropshot Jumpshot and the G spam, as I call it, or the drop spam. So there's 2 ways to do the G spam, but first we're going to start with the Dropshot Jumpshot. It's exactly what it sounds like. You drop shot, jump shot. Alright, now let's watch it from his perspective. You see how he goes from on the ground to in the air in 1 frame. Watch that again. It is literally instantaneous. You go from on the ground to in the air. That move is really effective on Warzone, like at a corner, drop shot, jump shotting, or someone shoots you in the back, you drop shot, jump shot them, right? Because see, like, turn your back to me. So if I'm about to shoot him in the back and he drop shot, jump shots 180s at me, on high HP, he's going to do a lot of damage to me. Like, like, if someone's behind you aiming, you drop shot, jump shot like that. And the next move is the G spam. This one you can do by sprinting out of AD or out of the drop shot, right? Now you do this is drop shot, sprint, and then aim and drop shot again. So it's just this one you need auto attack sprint on. Or you can do the drop shot, jump shot spam, which is where you just drop shot, jump shot, move forward, drop shot, jump shot. But this one you have to sprint out of the jump shot to get the further jump shot. This one's like drop shot, jump shot. like that. Alright, now do the drop shot, jump shot, but you sprint out of the jump into the jump shot, like where you mix those two moves. Drop shot, sprint out, and jump out it. That one is more of like a corner move. It makes you hard to hit at corners. Like drop shot one guy and then jump shot out. It moves very effective. And the G-walk spam or G-spam is good at holding people at corners. If they don't know what you're going to do because you don't know what you're going to do when they peek because you're just spamming it in a pattern. Makes you harder to hit and changes your profile rapidly. Next is wiggle peeking. It's whenever you're holding a heady. It's just strafing back and forth, getting your rotational. Although sometimes it is better to just strafe into it without really moving to get the full rotational while stationary. But what it looks like when you're wiggle peeking, it makes you a harder target to hit. Say I'm trying to track him, so I'm standing still. If he's re-peeking at different spots than he appeared from, it's going to make him harder to hit versus just sitting on a heady, not moving like a gumbo. Like if you're just sitting here, not even strafing into it to get the rotational, just standing still like that, you're not giving yourself an advantage. But if you're strafing back and forth, or even adding that, or G-spamming into the thing, you're just mixing the moves here, basically, and making yourself harder to hit off headies, beaming people, repositioning, getting different angles. It just makes you a harder player to kill, gives you more intel without the risk of getting killed, especially on higher health. Because of the fact that they hit you with one bullet, what's that matter? You got 300 HP. So if you're just spam peeking until you get any info and then beaming off of it and killing the person, it gives you a massive advantage, right? Next up is changing the depth on your peaks. This is a 1v1 strategy, basically. It adds the more odds to your probability of moves that you can do. Say you always drop shot close and always jump shot wide, right? And those are the only two chows you have. That only gives you two options to face, the wide jump or the close drop, right? But if someone drops close, drops wider, jumps close, and then jumps wide, it's going to make it to where you go from two things you can do to four. And say you change the timing on that to faster, slower, then you multiply it by 2 again for the probability, and that takes those 4 options to 8 options. So it's just basically making you harder to predict. So just remember, always change up the depths of your peaks and the timing of your peaks in 1v1s. Like long peaks versus long drop shots. So here's the difference. Like show them the close drop. That's a close drop. It covers a lot of the body. Makes you hard to peek. It's going to bring their aim down and low. Now watch when he does a wide drop shot or jump shot across. He did a jump shot across there. Now he can do a close jump shot. Do a close one this time. See, that's going to just make him land right on there. It's going to basically make it to where you can't heady him at first. Now do the wide drop shot. Yeah, that's going to, like, it's just adding more randomness to your gameplay when you're facing people. You just want to basically give people as many looks as you can. The harder it is for the person fighting you, the better. And if you can aim constantly while drop shotting or jump shotting and maintain accuracy, it just gives you an advantage that most players don't take advantage of. Also, there's timing. Say we're at a corner, alright? Start running at the corner to meet me. So if I run to meet him, right, we're running out on each other. Or what I could do, go back a little bit, I'm going to time you up here, is I'm going to give him the shoulder peek and then jump out behind him. You can do that on any skill level. So it's like you come, shoulder peek. So what you do here is you run out, flick your aim back, and then jump wide. So now let me meet him at the corner. That's how you mess up people. They're going to expect that. Or another thing you can do is show them the shoulder peek into a drop shot. Get them to play it aggressive. The shoulder peek and drop shot. And you can G-walk spam there. It just makes you harder to hit. Gives you some options to work with. So the next mechanic I'm going to be showing y'all is how to negate recoil on flicks. At least your first few shots. So if I'm flicking right and moving my aim, I'll still have vertical recoil applied to that, right? But if I strafe right while doing it, I have no vertical recoil at all. Or strafe left. So if you're flicking right, strafe left, and it's going to negate your recoil, your vertical recoil. I'm not touching my stick down there, I'm just flicking the opposite direction. You see it applies there too. Now, what that looks like when I'm beaming an opponent around a corner is I have no recoil. Let me show one more of those. It's when you're flicking around the corner, opposite on both sticks, and you get no recoil on the flick. I kind of overshot my aim right there, but you get no vertical recoil. Really helps you land your first few shots in Warzone and win more gunfights. Alright, next up, this is what I call like reversing momentum behind cover. I think there's a term someone coined for it. I think it's the crossback. But what you do is you sprint to cover. You saw the guy right there, right? So when you sprint to cover, instead of keeping your momentum and coming out right, what you do is you run out, jump wide, right? You ego chow the same side that you came from, and they won't expect it. They're going to expect you to keep your momentum. Now this is what that move looks like from the receiving end of it. So I'm following him, he comes out, boom, he jumped beside me, I would have been dead there in a game. This will work against all skill level players, but if you do it too much, for instance in like a 1v1, that person will start predicting it. But against most average and above average players, this move will get you free kills. Next up is vertical centering. This is one of the most important things. A lot of people know if I'm going out of corner to try to keep my aim on the edge of it as I come around. So anytime someone that I open my angle up to can see me, I can see them in my crosshairs already where they are, right? But what they don't think about, a lot of people will do that like this. They'll do it at a weird level. But if you keep it at a constant either chest level, if you're not good at controlling recoil, so you can flick to chest very easy, or a head level if you're more of a headhunter and good at controlling recoil, you need to keep your aim constantly at head level or chest level. And that makes it reduce RNG, because if someone drop shots, you always pull down the same amount. Whenever people drop shot, you flick down, right? And whenever people jump shot, you flick up. Because if you're centering at different levels all the time, if someone drop shots one time, you may have to flick down. If they drop shot another time, your aim could be below them, you have to flick up. It just makes it a lot harder on you, basically. And the advantage of maintaining the same level centering all the time, if someone's standing still, if I flick over to them, we stand still for a sec. If I flick over to someone standing still, that's easy headshots. Like, look at this. If I'm centering at head level, flick over, I'm hitting only headies if I can control the recoil. And it's not even that I'm aiming at the head. It's that I'm centering at head level and controlling the recoil and just aiming right to left normal. Like, it makes it a lot easier to get your headshot percentage up. And your overall accuracy is probably going to go up as well, because of the fact that you're not adding RNG to your aim. You're reducing it. The last mechanic I'm going to be showing y'all is something I haven't seen other people do. It's better on auto tac sprint. So on auto tac sprint, there's two ways you can do it. You can spam left trigger and jump around a corner already aimed, which is very effective. And think of it like 1, 2, 3 on the timing, but it's 1 left trigger spam, 2, 3, and right before the third one, you jump and aim, right? So you can do this on keyboard, mouse, or controller. Or if you do not play it on auto tac sprint, let me go turn it off. If you play with it off, what you can do is ADS, sprint out, and then jump the corner, right? ADS walk, sprint out, and jump. Like that. You can do it from stationary to around the corner very quick, which is good in gunfights if you're trying not to make noise, and then you jump around the corner. You can do like the slow jump there, or like the wide jump, or the wide and fast jump, like that one. ADS is you around corners, and it's very effective. Helps you get first shot, especially if you know where someone is, because I can just tap around the corner and pre-fire them. Thank you everyone for getting to this point in the video. If you're here and you've made it to this point, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications. It will help me a lot, and it'll help me produce more content. And don't forget, practice these moves in a private match for the most results. Just 1 to 200 bot kills a day will take you 5 to 15 minutes depending on how many you do, and it will help you improve. So I'll see y'all in the next video, and peace.